mic is not. It's not streaming yet.
And the mic.
All right, please. We have a last track warm up. Then we have a group photo. Cameraman can? All can do? Yeah? Referee? All referee? Up there. Up. Officer? No? Melvin, is it that? Okay, we just wait for Melvin, then we have a group photo. Gentlemen, first of all, I would like to welcome the President of WPA, Mr. Ishon, also the President of Maldives, Mr. Ahmad Nasif, and also Mr. Melvin Chia, the Tournament Director, and all guests. Welcome to this Maldives Open 10-Ball Pool Championship 2023. Introduction of players at table number 12. He's a former World Team 2022 champion and two-time 10-ball champion, Johan Chua from Philippines. His opponent is the former World 9-ball champion 2015 and also World 10-ball champion 2015 from Chinese Taipei, Ko Ping-yi. Referee in charge is from Maldives, Mr. Afik. At table number 9 is a former World 9-ball champion 2021 US Open from Philippines, Carlo Biado. His opponent is from Vietnam, is the Vietnam champion, Leong Juk Thien. Referee in charge at table number 9 from Sri Lanka, Samsudin. At table number 8 is a former World 10-ball 2019 champion from Chinese Taipei, Ho Ping Chun. His opponent is the current World 8-ball 2022 champion, a runners-up, Victor Zelinski. Referee in charge at table number 8 is Kausal from India. At table number 1, he is the World 9-ball 2018 champion from Germany, Joseph Filler. His opponent is from Chinese Taipei. He is the World 8-ball champion 2012, Chang Lin. Referee in charge for table number 1 from Malaysia, Ahmad Nabil. This quarterfinal will be played over race to 8. Players are ready. Referee, please begin. Good luck to all players.
Hello, all pool friends around the world. Welcome
from beautiful Male in the Maldives. We're here at the Maldives Open 2023 quarterfinal match. Joshua Filler from Germany against Chang Ling, Chinese Taipei. I am Thorsten Hohmann, former player, now commentator, and I have in the booth with me my former player and now also commentator, Moritz Neuhausen. Welcome, Moritz.
Hello, thank you, Thorsten.
So Joshua won the leg. I think he produced a really nice break, but what are you going to do here, Moritz? Push?
Yeah, probably. I think he's hooked behind the 2-ball and the 8-ball, so there's not much he can do except of playing a push-out, maybe. I think he's considering playing the cue ball towards the corner pocket.
It's always tricky when the one ball is near any of the pockets to play a push, because you don't want to leave any opportunity to get the one in. So what can you leave here?
Yeah, it's always a tough decision whether you want to try to maybe leave your opponent a long, tough shot in the hopes that he misses, or maybe leaving a difficult safety shot. But again, it's because your opponent gets the choice as soon as you play the push out, so you don't want to leave something too easy but not too difficult at the same time, because you will have to execute the shot too in case your opponent doesn't want to play. So it's always a tough decision.
I feel like he's not going to attack this. I think banking the one down table to the other side, trying to keep the cue ball behind the 8 or the 2, seems like a choice for me.
It seems reasonable because he has 3 balls basically to hide the cue ball behind. Yeah, it's just the pace of the one ball on the cue ball is very important. It's not even that important to hit the ball at exactly the best point. I think the pace is just what matters the most here.
And Chang Ling is one of 3 Taiwanese players that qualified for the quarterfinals here. We have the Ko brothers, Ko Ping Chung and Ko Ping Yi, playing on the outside tables at the moment.
Yeah, so it's a tough decision. That's why he's taken so long to decide if he wants to take on the safety shot, or maybe he wants Joshua to come back to the table and execute.
Do you think, since Joshua is a very fast-paced player, and that because there's no shot clock, Chang Lin is purposely slowing the game down a little bit?
Yeah, I think he's not considering upping his speed or playing faster than he usually does, or yeah, maybe he's even trying to actively pace down a little bit to keep Joshua in his chair for...
Because he played what appeared to us the obvious choice, banking the one down, which he perfectly executed. Just took him a minute to make the decision. I noticed that he was playing you.
Yeah.
Just a couple of days ago. And he seemed to be slowing it down as well. Maybe that's one of his strategies.
Yeah, he has a lot of tools, and maybe that's one of them, to keep your opponent in the chair. And yeah, it's always a difficult match when 2 players with a way different speed are playing each other, because maybe Joshua wants to get over, I don't know, he wants to play as fast as he can because he feels like maybe Chang will miss the beginning or something, and then it's maybe 2-0 in a matter of minutes, and then he might put pressure on Chang.
So the safety battle continues.
Yeah, he did a nice kick shot. Almost made the one ball.
Again, it looks like you have the 3-5. Could be a potential blocker to play a safety. You have the 2-7 that are close to each other. So
there's many good things to do. I would consider playing the cue ball behind the 8-7-2, maybe even the 10. Just put it right next to the corner pocket, and maybe leaving the one ball close to the long rail where the 10 is, and then forcing Joshua to play kick or jump or something difficult.
And again, you can see he's really taking his time here.
Yeah, he's not trying to speed up or anything. He's just doing what he wants, taking his time, considering all options. Yeah,
Yep, excellent speed here.
yeah, very good execution. Now, would you go for the 3-rail or 2-rail kick, or would you rather jump and make sure you get a contact and yeah, just hope?
Well, I think Joshua made his choice. The only positive aspect here is the 2 is not wide in the open, so he still, even if Chang Lin gets a shot on the 1, he needs to get good position on the 2, which, depending on where the balls end up,
Mm-hmm.
will not be a given.
Yeah, I think Joshua will try to jump rail first and make it. Oh wow, good shot, but not quite the result he was hoping for. And it's still not easy, I would say. I think he has. Yeah, after we see the replay, we can judge
Almost made it.
better.
So
Yeah,
does he
it's-
have an angle where he can run the cue ball into the 10, or will he have to force the cue ball in position?
Oh, it's tough. I think he will try to maybe draw the cue ball on the right long rail. Or it's not, now it's a choice between going really offensive and trying to run the rack, because there's, as you can see, the 8 ball and the 10 ball, they're all close to the 2 ball and the 7 ball. So if you go for the offensive way now and trying to make the 1 and get position for the 2 ball, you might as well end up being hooked behind the 10 or 8 or 7. And you could also just make the 1 ball and stay on the safe side and then play a safety on the 2 ball. That's an option too. It really depends on the angle he has on the 1 ball right now. If he's able to just run it in the 10 ball, I think it's the best option. Okay. Took the safe route. And now...
more safeties to come.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about you yesterday. I saw you playing Carlo Biado.
Yeah. Yeah, I made a couple mistakes. I'd say probably 3 mistakes that led to my defeat. And Carlo, as always, played pretty well. So, yeah, he deserved to win. He's definitely shown some good pool. And, yeah. What happened in your match yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about something else. How about our scuba experience? No. Yeah, I can only blame myself. I had a very big chance to go up 6-4 in my match. There was no reason to miss position and then miss the shot, which I did. And that was punished with another break and run out. And then at the end, I feel like I didn't want to win. I had a chance to go hill and just too many mistakes.
Yeah, so we both deserve to sit here and do the commentary instead of playing ourselves. But that's fine, that's part of the game. So now Chang almost put him right in the cage. Now he might have the short rail to kick at the 2 ball. Not quite sure. If not, he will have to go long rail, short rail, as it looks, because I think the 10 ball and the 7 ball are in the way. And obviously the 6 ball is in the way if he goes for the long rail kick. So
I think he can manage to get between the 10 and the 6, hit the long rail.
yeah.
So that's a pretty big ball to hit.
And if he makes it, he is almost guaranteed position on the 3 ball because it's hanging right in front of the site. So, yeah. Oh, looks like he's going for the jump bank. Interesting choice.
Definitely technically the more challenging shot,
Yeah.
but if you can make a full contact, not hit the 8 and not jump the cue ball off the table, there's a good chance
And don't
to
double hit.
get the hook.
Oh, he just makes it. Wow.
And he just makes it. Wow.
Now he has to jump again.
Wonderful.
Second one in a row.
And now he just earned himself a chance to run out this rack.
Yeah, great first rack so far. I mean, both played some real good safeties, kicks. Now the 2 jumps, obviously. That's just an amazing rack.
That's just typical Joshua. We watched this match last night against Vietnamese Ticon, where his opponent had plenty of chances to put him away. Always let him get back into the game. And now he's in the quarterfinal, and I have a feeling we're going to see the usual Joshua filler from here.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's the case with many good players. As soon as they play... Oh.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes it's just that the players that usually don't play those really good guys, and they get the chance to maybe run a couple of racks or get the opportunity to win even. I feel like sometimes they're just afraid because they're not used to winning against those guys. And then they start doing mistakes or taking decisions that they shouldn't.
There's just this
That's the name you
extra
earn.
little pressure, right? You feel,
Yeah.
but you're not as free as you're playing somebody. You're playing and then your arm gets a little bit stiff. You're not really following through the way you should, or you're not as free in your mind, and then these little silly mistakes happen.
Yeah. You're just your muscles, tighten, and then, I don't know. The game gets more difficult with each minute. So let's see what's happening here. He's probably going for the side. Yep. Good shot.
I remember, is it 2018? No, when did Joshua win the China Open?
I think it was 2017.
We were just discussing earlier in the coffee shop. That was a big turning point in Joshua's career. He actually beat me in the semifinal, and then he's playing his current opponent, Chang Ling, in the final, and he put on an amazing performance that enabled him to pursue his career. I think.
Yeah.
I've spent some time talking to Pia and Joshua, about how everything unfolded, and they were financially under a lot of pressure, and with the China Open, and I think it was like $40,000. It really enabled them to pursue a professional career, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that's all it needs, just one breakthrough, just one where it really just comes together best ways. And obviously, winning those tournaments requires amazing play, and then maybe do a little bit of luck, but that's deserved.
Well,
If
you're
you-
19, Mo. It's, everybody I talk to, I say you're the next.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope so.
So
But
let me put a bit of pressure on you.
That's all right.
It was Ralph and Oliver Ortman. Then my turn, and
Yeah.
it's Joshua.
now maybe me. We'll see.
I think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely keep working hard and try to improve, and then we'll see how it goes. There's so many amazing players right now.
We had a very eventful wreck, with the safe exchange in the beginning, and Joshua coming with the crazy jump bank followed by another jump.
What's happening here? I think he has to
Oh no!
give him a foul because he.
I don't like that.
I think he touched some balls.
Did he touch the cue ball while it's still in motion?
No, I think he reached in the pocket while the cue ball was still moving. See? Let's see. Yeah. So I think he calls a foul now.
We have rules, and I understand the referees just enforce those rules. As a player, I don't really like this.
Yeah, I think it's just to some extent unnecessary because it was obvious that the cue ball wasn't going to scratch in any pocket, and now that's the kind of moments that just changes the momentum of the game. Because it's the first rack, it's not unimportant.
He's.
Oh, I don't know what's happening here.
Okay, that's very unfortunate. I mean, I can feel his frustration.
Oh, what's
Um,
happening here?
I'm not a big fan of the rule, but I don't know if he
Uh,
should quit. It's just.
I don't know what's happening. I mean, even Joshua is looking confused or shocked. I mean, that's not the outcome we wished for. Obviously, someone has to win, but not in that way. Obviously, it's just terrible. I don't know what happened now. If he wanted to call a foul or if it was disqualification or I don't quite get it.
Yeah, we've seen it in the past. These situations happen. Um, it's just also, the organizers. They put in so much effort in this tournament, and you should show a little bit of respect. But who am I?
The problem with those
I understand
judgments,
frustration, and it's just the emotions. Every rack counts. It's just a race to 8. He's broken down his cue, so
I guess that counts as submission.
and then even the referee and the organizers are not sure what to do now. I mean, he's kind of conceded the match already. So even if he comes back, that's
Yeah, I mean, but it's just I feel like it's a difficult decision now, and I don't even feel like the referee should have said anything because it's just I don't want to say unfair to some extent, but it is because in so many matches before we've seen other players do it with different referees.
Yeah.
And they said nothing.
let's
And
watch.
now it
Let's watch
was-
the replay again. So he
Yeah.
plays the 10.
He plays the 10, yeah, he makes the 10. And now watch his hand, his left hand, see? He put the ball on the table while the cue ball was still moving. And now, let's
Well,
see
I'd
what
say
Joshua
we
does.
just go on a short break. I'm sure they. I see our tournament director, Melvin, is coming and to discuss how they're gonna proceed.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I mean, Chang should be experienced enough to know what's happening. You can't do it. They explained the rules beforehand, and as we've seen before in the beginning, in the early stages of the tournament, they take the rules quite serious here. I mean, they put up an amazing event and they want to, yeah, just keep an eye on the rules, and Chang should know the rules. As long as the cue ball is moving, you can't put any other balls on the table. You
Yeah.
can't touch the cue ball. You can't do anything.
And just discussing behind the scenes. If it was me, I would try and talk him to senses and just accept that he made a mistake. That's the rule. The referee enforces it, and don't
Yeah, I
get
don't
too
know.
emotional. It's just the first game.
I don't know what Joshua. I think Joshua is just observing the situation. I wouldn't want to be in his skin because now any decision is not fair to him.
I also don't find it fair if they put it on Joshua to make the call, because
No.
he's just a player,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
and it's just not fair to make him the bad guy. They should. It's kind of, I want to step up and and say something, because that's not fair.
Yeah, I
Joshua
agree.
can only lose here.
And yeah, now let's say he says it's okay. He's down one game, and it's not about the game necessarily, but he broke down his cues. I mean, that's almost like surrendering the game, and
Yeah, he did.
so
It's not what we want. We want to see a game, a good match. But in the first rack was spectacular. Had
Yeah,
great shots,
yeah,
safety,
yeah, yeah.
and a miss. And
yeah, it's
there's a discussion is going on.
yeah, but now it's the decision whether like Chang broke down his cues. So now what's happening? Because he might surrender the game.
Are you asking him? That's not fair.
No, I didn't ask him.
Because
Maybe for him.
he cannot ask him. He has to make a call. He's the player. Why do you make him the bad guy?
Maybe for him. I didn't for him.
Cannot ask Joshua. He didn't do anything.
I didn't for him.
I just say Okay,
We're
after
back, guys.
a bit of an emotional outburst, I think we have Chang Ling come back to the match.
That's, yeah, I don't know. Now it's tough to decide whether it's fair to Joshua, because in the end I feel like Chang kind of surrendered the match with breaking down his cues. But on the other hand, I don't know. I'm not in the situation. I don't know what it feels like now. We've been told that the same thing occurred yesterday with Naoki Oi. That's how he lost the game. So yeah, it's just fair to count it now as well. But now it's a different situation because he broke down his cues, so you might consider that as just surrendering.
Anyway, our opinions don't matter.
Exactly.
I think it's better for the fans.
Yeah, it's better for the tournament. We all don't want to see the match ending that way, so yeah, it is what it is now, and we're going to enjoy the match anyways. So now Joshua is leading 1-0. Nothing is decided yet.
Yeah, I can only speak for myself, but the way the organizers and the locals have been treating us, it's like second to none. You know, we feel like we're already part of the family here. Everybody's so kind in every little detail, and I know they've put in so much hard work, getting all the support by the government to make this event happen and trying to grow it. So we just deserve good games here.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
should.
totally agree. I've never witnessed anything like that. The hospitality is just different. It's on another level. Everybody tries to satisfy every player, and it's just amazing. It's just the way they treat us, or all the players, is just incredible. So Chang made 2 balls on the break. I think has quite a good shot on the 2 ball.
It's very interesting to see the body language and faces of both players,
Yeah.
how they deal with this.
Yeah, now it's interesting to see because, in those kind of situations, I mean, if I was in Joshua's place, you might already lose some of your pressure and maybe even your, tension, because you feel like,
It shows a really good sportsmanship from Joshua too, because he could have clearly said, "Hey, he broke down his cues, he gave up,"
yeah,
But he just takes it. So that speaks for Joshua, I think.
oh yeah, I totally agree. It's definitely a very good way to handle this situation. Just let the referee decide, don't get involved, and accept whatever decision they take or they make. So yeah, nice shot on 2 ball.
Also going to show how professional both of these guys are.
Yeah.
Cheng coming with this crazy thin cut with position. Still, I'm sure his mind is occupied with everything that just unfolded, but nevertheless, he's just putting down the balls.
Mm-hmm.
We have our new WPA president, Ishan Singh, in the house. He's just arrived, so everybody's coming.
Yeah, I heard on the last day some very important people will show up to watch the finals, and that just shows how nice the community here on the Maldives is. Um, they put up this amazing event. Everybody involved did an amazing job. Then all the people come in here to watch, to observe the good players, and they really respect every single player, no matter who. And yeah, they put in an amazing effort, trying to set something up for the Maldives pool community. And yeah, they already said they want to try to do the same thing next year. And yeah, let's hope they can do it again.
3 balls left.
Yeah. Very clean play so far in this rack.
I think just 2 more racks in and everything will be forgotten and they will be playing their A game.
Yeah, so good position on the 10 ball now. He's going to play it in the side, I assume. So the score is 1-1 now. Yeah, now he's not even bothering trying to get the balls out of the pockets. So yeah, good decision.
We had an opportunity earlier, well, 2 things, while we're on a short break. I took your virginity in scuba diving in the morning.
Yeah, it was something I always wanted to do, just to try. Beforehand, I was a little scared of the ocean because I feel like it's so deep and big, and there's so many animals and fish and whatever can kill you. And yeah, but this time, I mean, I was with you, so you are an experienced diver, and yeah, it was just amazing. I want to do it again as soon as I can. Oh, great
That's a nice
sportsmanship
gesture.
here. Yeah,
There you go.
nice way to handle the confusion. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after our dive, we went to a local coffee shop. That was a really good experience, and we encountered a fellow from Serbia who had been working 7 months in one of the resorts, I think as a personal trainer, and he's flying back to his country tonight, and we told him about our tournament and the things that are happening here, and he actually just walked in. So
Yeah,
we
he just showed
recruited
up.
a new fan.
Yeah, it's cool to see, especially because Mali is like kind of a small island, and yeah, it's amazing. They put up, I don't know, maybe 10 different posters and big billboards all around the island with all different players and just trying to get as many people in here as possible. Wow, look at this shot. Just a tiny bit short.
I think I don't know if you can kick it. Have room to kick at it. Otherwise, the kick
Yeah.
will get the cue ball closer to the 3-4 combination.
I think he can kick at it. He can make it for sure. Now it's a tough decision whether you want to hit it real soft and just make the 2, or maybe hit it hard. In case you make it to wall, the cue ball travels towards the 3 and the 4, maybe splits them up, or there's some good things that might happen. And if you miss, you have the chance to leave something bad.
You're also using a bit of geometry here.
Yeah. Chooses to play it softly.
Beautiful shot.
Wow, good shot.
Ended on the wrong side of the combination, so I don't know if that's. You think it's still possible? I think
Yeah.
since he has to cut the 3 into the right side of the 4, he will actually. No, yeah, he's going for safety.
Going for safety. Maybe he's considering. Yeah.
Just ideally, he doesn't want to leave any part of this long rail available. So he wants to. Oh, no.
No, he's going for the 4 ball apparently.
I don't think so.
With those kind of combinations, you might even consider going rail first into the 3 ball, because then you have more than half the ball to hit it.
Well, he has to extra cut the 4 because it's going to get thrown to the wrong side.
Oh,
That was a good choice here.
wow. Very different approach than I thought he would go for.
get it?
I think it's a little long. I think you can see at least parts of the three ball. I thought he was just going to thin it and leave the cue ball on the short rail, three ball on the long rail. Let's see.
We have a long way to go. 1-1, and I think it's still a race to 8. I know once we go into the semifinals tonight, the races will be extended to 10, with the final tomorrow at 8 p.m. local time also being raised to 10. I think quarterfinal match was still going to 8.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's raised to 8 still.
If you go on YouTube and you look for the Maldives Pool-Billiard Association, you should see all the other matches on a separate channel.
Yeah, so apparently it looks like you can only kick at the three ball now. Wow, look at this
Wow,
shot.
wonderful shot.
Wow. Amazing match so far. Nice safety battles.
Hey, we have a special guest. We have the vice president of the federation with us. Mahid, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you guys for keeping it alive and happening, and also the match is also really happening.
Your heart must have just sunken really.
No, I think it's in sports everything happens. So as a federation, as a tournament director and as referee, things have to be solved and moved on.
Yeah, I think it just showed sportsmanship from all parties. Even Joshua accepted to continue because he had broken his cues down. I think it's the right choice, just in respect to you guys that put in so much effort, and you want to see good matches.
Yeah, that's true. Good sportsmanship to continue the match as well. And it's a good crowd here today.
Yeah, starting to fill up.
Yeah, it's starting to fill up.
Yeah, it's nice to see the appreciation of all the people in here that come and watch. Because again, it's a huge effort to put up this kind of event. And that just shows the interest of the Maldives people. Oh, he went for the bank, and I think he got a little lucky.
For the aggressive option. It could have also just separated the balls.
I guess he'll try to make the 4 ball now, rail first. Maybe even get in behind the 10 ball, short rail, long rail, and then get...
It's interesting because it's the third shot of this kind in this rack. It's the third time the player has to just hit the rail first. So they should be getting really good at it. And, all 3 times the players made the ball.
And
still has to come. Yes, still has to come with a shot here.
Yeah, that's no easy. I think he can just... I think he just has to make the ball. I'm not sure if he's in danger of scratching.
From the overhead, it looks like he would be okay. Cutting the 5 to the left pocket. But from the other angle that we're seeing here, it looks like scratches on. So it's gonna come really close. Can't hit it with any more pace. It's just gonna send the cue ball further down the tangent line with the potential scratch. So if he makes this, he has to hit it really gently. Gentle.
I don't know how you feel about those shots, but to me those shots are always really tough just to judge in mind. With those shots you always think about, oh, don't scratch, even though that's not the thought you should have. But when it's this close, with me at least, sometimes I just feel like I'm going to try and see.
He's now looking to cut the 5 into the... Or is he going for safety?
I think he's going for safety. think it was
Yeah,
a good shot.
he made that
Good
decision
choice.
quickly. I think he could have taken a little bit more time to make sure to judge the speed right.
Yeah, I agree. No, any of those shots was difficult. It's not a easy decision to make, because as we've seen earlier in this match, both of them play really good safeties. And let's say Joshua goes for the pot, it's more or less 50-50 if he scratches or not. So I don't know if that's something you want to risk.
Definitely a slow start. If I look around, most matches on the outside tables, we're already at
Yeah, they played 4 or 5 games
4 to
usually.
1 and 4-0.
What do you think of this shot here? Would you try to
Well,
smash it, or
definitely easy to roll in the 5. Um, that will give you the highest chances making it.
watch the cue ball? Wow, good shot.
Yeah, excellent. Although still has a slight back cut. It could have been worse, so I think he'll take it.
Yeah, I think it's because he hit the 5 ball a little full, so he made it in the left side, and that's why he ended up a little short. But he's still good. He should be good.
Doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball. You can just make the 6. We'll get automatic position.
Would you try to make it in the left corner instead of the right corner?
I mean, he has a better angle to see it. From here, it looks like
Yeah, that's good. Oh, watch the cue ball. Doesn't want to land straight. Now, if um, I'm not sure if I like the way he played it. I think maybe would have tried to
try the other corner.
Yeah, or maybe even if you try to go for the left corner, just go long rail. That way you're almost guaranteed to have an angle.
I think he picked a stroke
good
where he
shot.
felt most comfortable making the 7.
Yeah.
But now he's back in line, and
Yeah,
we're
he's-
just about to see 2 to 1 in his favor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good shot on the 7. Cheated the pocket a little bit.
There we have it.
Very interesting match so far. Going back and forth every rack.
Joshua just came from his, was it 5th Euro Tour win in
Yeah.
Austria.
Yeah.
He said no matter what he tried, he was just getting the best break results every single match. So, great performance. Coming here, having 2 days at one of the resorts.
It's interesting that you mentioned the break, because especially on the TV table, I played on it twice, and I feel like I couldn't make a ball. And
Here.
yeah, on the TV table, I played Carlo and Chang, and Chang's break was good. He always made a ball, but Carlo and me, we were both struggling. It was always going back and forth, and I think we each made like 1 ball on the break in the whole set. So yeah, I don't know why, but this table seems to break a little different than the other ones. Let's see this break right now. Oh yeah, good break.
Very good timing.
Oh, that's interesting now.
If you look at the 4 ball, you see how the 4 comes straight up table.
Mhm.
That's a ball, you guys playing 10 ball. If you make a really square hit, and the cue ball parks in the center of the table, and the one ends up in front of the corner, that's the ball that very often ends up in between the cue ball and the one ball.
Yeah, that's always very annoying, I would say. You feel like you hit a perfect break or a very good break, and then all of a sudden the ball comes and just sits right in front of the cue ball, and you can't really see the ball. And yeah, sometimes it's not even possible to play a proper push or jump or.
So I
Yeah.
don't know if he can slow roll the one into the corner, um, and then he will get automatic position on the two, or if he has to work the cue ball out of that corner. Uh, it's a really tricky shot, nevertheless, whatever he's elevating.
Yeah, those kind of shots are very difficult. Because it looks pretty straight to me, and now.
It's hard enough to just roll it in. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to force the cue ball,
Or cheat the pocket or something. Yeah,
make it
that's.
much harder.
Yeah, I agree. And to me, it looks like he can't really slow roll it because the four ball will be in the way. So he kind of has to cheat the pocket in order to get positioned. Unless he wants to take the whole table jump shot, which I doubt. So
But what are the alternatives? Safety? I don't see any. Playing
with-
into a push?
yeah, I think safety is kind of difficult because first of all he's jacked up, and second of all it's
The one is wide in the open.
yeah.
No, he's going for it.
Oh, good shot.
Oh, I think
Doesn't want-
he
oh.
got where he wanted to be.
Yep. It's interesting with those shots where the ball is in one line with the cue ball, right in the line of the pocket. With those shots, you oftentimes feel like, oh, I can play the safety, but then they double kiss again if you try to go for the safety. And I think that might have been the case with this one too. So I'm not even sure if he had the option to go for safety in any way. So he kind of had to take the offensive approach.
Here, you can bump to 3.
Hit it a little full, the 3 ball.
I think it was okay. The 5 will be another challenge.
That's again one of those shots where you could go for the cut and just let the cue ball go around the table, but I don't feel like that's the right shot here.
And we haven't had like a very obvious run out so far. Every
No.
rack has been very interesting.
Yep. It's definitely one available safety. Just put the cue ball behind the 10 ball.
The way he's looking at it, I think he's trying to cut it into the corner.
If he hits it to perfection, he might even loosen up the 5. Well, I think he's trying some sort of safety, isn't he? No, he went for the cut. Wow.
You never know how his mindset is after the whole situation in the beginning. Kind of just, okay, I'll just play a little bit more aggressive than I normally do.
Yeah.
Again, has the wrong angle and needs to work the cue ball to set it up for the combination.
How do you like just
Stopping
bank-
it in
yeah,
the
stopping-
bank.
Yeah. I feel like that's something he might look into because the way he looked at the combination, might as well just try to see the tangent line of the 5 ball. And the combination isn't straightforward, straight in. Yeah. Oh, good shot. Wow.
Yeah, he got perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, wow. What a shot. Now let's see where the 5 ball and 6 ball goes. This is one of the typical combination shots where you don't want to hit the 6 ball too thin and make the 5 ball go towards the 10, because then oftentimes you don't end up with a shot on the 5.
Yeah, but if you're so worried about the 5, then often you hit the second ball too full and just miss it altogether.
See,
What you predicted.
yeah.
What is he going to do? Marry the cue ball to the 7?
And then put the 5 ball 2 rails up table again, or just 1 rail, long rail?
He's looking to cut the 5 into the corner. Okay, he calls the bank with the safety option.
Yeah, I guess he will. Yeah, I guess he will play. Yeah. What you said, just marry the cue ball with the 7 ball. That's
The worst thing that can happen if he makes the 5 and cue ball gets stuck to the 7.
Yeah. Oh, he touches the knuckle. Oh. Oh yeah, good pace. That looked easy, but having to elevate the cue makes it way more difficult than you would think.
Joshua.
Oftentimes you end up hitting the 5 ball not straight in the face, and yeah, then you don't leave a safety.
Joshua
he did a good
jumped
job.
out of his chair with the jump cue. He has already made 2 in this match earlier.
Maybe he makes it 3 now. Good effort.
Didn't leave anything easy. There's another tester here. This is
Let's see what he does.
another good shot. Another good shot he has to come with here.
And you would always go for the shot instead of a safety, maybe containing safety, putting the 5 ball to the rail where the 7 is, and putting the cue ball the opposite long rail.
I would say you could ask 10 players and they all go for the aggressive option here.
That's one of the big shots in the set.
Yeah,
3-1
it's still,
or 2-2
it's
is
still
a big
short
difference.
race to 8. It's not, it goes fast. And we've had some very interesting racks. Would expect we'll see some more clear runouts, and he's got away with it. Even if he would have made it, would have hooked himself. So it's very unfortunate for Joshua.
Yeah, it's the second time he misses and leaves just a kick shot. The first time Joshua made the ball, and then had to play safety on the 5 ball. I don't think this one is as easy to kick as.
So Joshua really needs to keep a very positive mind, after what happened in the first rack, thinking to himself, I should have just
Yeah.
taken the win. Like, hey, you conceded the match, and then it's easy to go down mentally, spiraling down where you're like,
Yeah.
and that's what I should have done. You can take away from your fire and desire to play your best and every single time and try to win this.
Yeah, I think it just distracts you from what's really important. You can't focus as good anymore, or you focus on, I should have and could have and whatever, instead of just, playing. So which way do you like best to kick at the ball? Right here. Do you like a 2-rail approach?
It's not bad. Right speed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
wonderful shot.
Mm-hmm.
Good speed, almost. I think he really deserved this outcome.
I agree.
Another touchy shot. Would you try and cut the 5 down the rail or go for
No.
a safety? No?
No, I go for the safety. I feel like with those kind of shots, we have to thin cut the 5. I feel like oftentimes it hits the side somehow.
It's the
because-
point.
Yeah, it hits the point, yeah. In this case, I think I would just try to put the 10.
The focus is really,
The cue
really
ball
on the
into 10.
5 ball because, yeah, you're trying to get the cue ball close to the 7.
Maybe even the 10. I don't know
How thin it, yeah.
Yeah.
But the focus is really on the 5. You want to
Yeah.
get that to that the center of the short rail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in this case it's object ball first. Yeah. See, the 5 ball is near the perfect. And now it's a tough decision again. I'm not even sure if he can go for the bank in this case because the 5 ball is so close to the bottom rail. Or short rail, it's not the bottom rail.
What are the safety options? Really thin cut, trying to separate them on the, he's calling the bank. The only thing he can do is trying to hit it too full and then end up on the long rail. He hit double hit it and he made it.
And now a tough one again.
What a good match so far.
Yeah, amazing shots from both players. And good speed, I would say. Yeah, that's important. That shot is very important. Making it 2-2 and your break instead of being 3-1 down. Especially because it was such a hard forward rack. That definitely means something. Wow.
Didn't hit it clean, right? But clean enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he chose the right speed, I would say. It was good pocket speed. And then it touches both rails.
But it has
But it still
to
goes
has to
in.
earn it.
Yeah, he has to earn it, yeah.
Wonderful.
Wow. Good 2 shots in a row.
And after almost 1 hour of playing, the score is 2-2. Just an update. I can see Ko Ping Chung is leading over Viktor Zelinsky 5-1. We have Ke Ping Yi leading over Johan Chua 3-2. And I can't see
The score with Lung Duk Tien and Carlo Biata was 4-1, I think, in Lung's favor. So right now I can see Carlo has 2 points. So I assume the score will be 4-2 or maybe 5-2. Let's see. Let's see the break. Yeah, the score is 5-2 at Carlos' table.
Oh no.
And yet again, it's an interesting rack. If you take a look at the 8 and the 9 ball and the 7 ball.
Completely mishit that one. Went straight into the side.
Yeah, hit it too thin.
Oh, Semi is it really has affected him mentally a little bit. Watch his body language.
Yeah, so far with that's, I feel like that's where Chang's playstyle really comes in handy, because he takes a lot of time. If we could see statistics, how long Joshua has been on the table compared to Chang, I guess it would be 75% to 25%, if even, because Chang just takes a lot of time. He really thinks about what he's doing, and with those clustered up racks,
Slows
Yes.
down the match even more. Yeah.
yeah, and there's no flow. There's no flow for any of those players. There's no rhythm. And again, he's going for the offensive approach.
He wants to steal that rack.
made it. Good shot. Now this one is not as straightforward as you would think, because now he has to get near the center table.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9 is very interesting. Wonder if he's already thinking to either break out those balls or maybe play a safety with the 7.
Yeah, I think because the way the 6 ball is laying relative to 8, 9, and 7, he might actually be able to split him open, even though that's risky.
I
But
feel like if you can make the 6 and you get the right angle on the 7, you can knock the 7 down table and try to get the cue ball behind the 9.
Do you think it might even be possible to break out the 9 and 8 with the 7?
Yeah, it
That's
all
tough to
depends
judge.
the angle he gets on the 6 and the 7.
Yeah.
My prediction would be a safety with the 7 or a safety with the 8 actually.
I feel like it's still very difficult to win the rack with the safety, because even if you put him right stuck behind the 9 ball and he makes the foul, you still have to break the 8 and 9 open. Unless you really hit it that good that you put the cue ball in behind the 9 and 8 and break the 9 out a little bit so you can play position for the 8 ball.
Or if he gets a very shallow angle on the 6, he can make the 6 a little harder, hit the rail first, knock the 8 into the 9, into the 7,
Yeah.
and develop it in front of the corner.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see because I think he will go for the breakout. That's just his play style right now. He's very offensive. He could have played a safety right away with the cue ball. Ball in hand, I mean. Just on the 1 ball. Maybe playing the 1 and the 9 ball. Into the 9 ball, putting the cue ball behind the 6, and then going from there. But, oh, that's interesting. What about going into the balls right now? No, that makes no sense. Nope. Yeah, the way it looks.
Well, we can talk about all the way we want. He has to make a decision here.
Yeah. And he has to execute. That would be the second remarkable rack Chang runs. So now he's looking into what you mentioned, trying to push the 8 ball and the 9 ball and then in the 7
If he
ball.
hits the rail first into the 8 and hits it with pace,
Yeah.
then the
There's
7
definitely-
will get Karam close to the corner. The worst thing that can happen to him is get hooked behind the B8. But a lot good can come out of this.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna hit and hope. Oh wow. Great shot. Hit it to perfection if you ask me.
Yeah, let's watch the replay. Let's see, hits the rail first, hits the 8, 9 hits the 7.
The 8 pretty
Wonderful.
much stays in place. Yeah, wow. Really interesting match so far. Definitely worth watching.
Yeah, I had it all. And it's only
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
what a turn of events.
Now it had it all. Wow. Neither of us did that see coming. Now it will be very interesting to see the way he handles that mistake.
Well, it's his break. very interesting. You know, it's
Yeah.
I don't know what's better. You just want to see one break and run after another, or you want to see some drama?
Yeah. In the meantime, the score with Carlo and Lung Duk Tien is 5-4 in Lung Duk Tien's favor.
Yeah, we had quite a few of Vietnamese players here. One knocked me out. Definitely a good showing.
I played a Vietnamese player, I think, in my group stage.
Yeah, we can get a good shot. What's going on the outside? Ko Ping Chung is cruising. I think he's won his match 8-1 last night, and he's leading 6-1 again over Victor. So
First really open rack so far.
except he doesn't have a shot on the 2.
Yeah. You see, the one ball is always tempted to go down on the break. It always is. It's always close to the corner pocket, and you try to make it stay on the table, but sometimes you make it, and then it's just a matter of fortune if you really get a shot or not. And in this case, he didn't get lucky.
We came into this tournament being presented with the rule that we were supposed to call every single shot. So basically point with the cue to the pocket that we were intending to play the ball, and then we all complained like, hey, I know it's supposed to make this game more obvious, and so there's no confusion, but we all complained that it would actually create more problems than it would do good, and then they actually changed it, so we don't have to call every single shot, just the obvious ones.
Good bang on the 2 ball from Chang.
Still has to judge the path of the cue ball here. Don't want to end up with too much angle on the 4. But on the other hand, you don't want to hook yourself behind the 6 or the 8 or run into the 9. So still needs good cue ball control here.
I feel like especially on those new conditions, slick cloth, clean balls, it's always a little tough to judge the balls hanging right in front of the hole or in the hole, because the cue ball is just reacting so different than what it does, how it reacts on one-off cloth and dirty balls.
It's so easy to make the 3 and get a shot on the 4, but he wants as little angle as possible on the 4 so you can hold the cue ball for the 5.
Yeah, I think especially because I'm not even sure if he has the whole pocket. The 10 ball looks like it might intervene with the pocket.
That was a kind of a trick shot here.
Good effort, for sure.
And he hit it too good, it looks like.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing to see how big the area is he can land in and be perfect on the 4 ball. 4 ball. And now he ended up in the small area where
It makes it harder.
yeah, it kind of makes it uncomfortable.
A
Good
good touch
recovery.
here.
What's he doing? Is that the 5 ball? It looks
Mhm.
like. Oh yeah? Oh, I thought it's the 7 ball. Wow. Some confusion going on here.
Ended up having to bridge over the 8 with the slight angle on the 6.
Yeah.
More work than he wanted to.
I think he would have liked a little bit more angle. because now it's a little uncomfortable.
Well, he needs to force the cue ball. Just adds another risk factor.
Yeah. They don't want to land straight in. But I think he did pretty much. Not sure if he has an angle. What do you think?
I think he can just draw it straight back.
Yet again, it's so interesting to see. You feel like you have a huge area where you can make the 8 ball comfortably and get position. And now there's always this one point where you feel like you're very limited to what to do.
Yeah, and for some players it
See?
looks like, yeah, for some players it looks like, oh yeah, he has the 8 open, he's got the cue ball there, no problem. But you know, you actually look at the angle, you're like, no, this is a lot of work
Yeah.
to get to the next ball, and
And then
the
you don't
drama
wanna land
continues.
Yeah, and you don't want to land straight in on the 9 ball because the 10 ball is not quite in front of the hole. So there's like all sorts of things that could go wrong, even though you don't expect to. But sometimes you hit exactly that one small pinpoint where you feel like, yeah, you're very limited.
What is he gonna do here? Thin in the 9 on the right side, as thin as he can,
And
sending the
then
cue
left
ball down.
English, left hand
All
English.
right.
Yeah, that's
There's not much he can do. Just
yeah.
he wants pace on the cue ball. At the same time, he wants the 9 to stay where it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, he goes for the just kind of knocking the 9 into the rail, keeping the cue ball there. So Joshua has a chance to separate the balls.
That's one very interesting shot, which is just going straight into the 9 ball now.
Well, he didn't want to take any chances. There's nothing to hide the cue ball behind. You can only create distance.
Yeah, and then it's wow, that was good. Good speed, just a tiny hair short, but left nothing easy.
There's something, you know, in German, this game, Schwarzer Peter.
Not sure.
It's a card game where you have a card that you don't want, and you're trying to hand it to your opponent.
Yeah.
And that's like what the situation is like. You know, the 9 is the Black Peter, we say, and he's trying to give it back to Joshua.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna go for the cut or the bank.
No.
Is he putting them on the long rails? 9 to the left, cue ball to the right.
Yeah, or maybe put the 9 ball right next to the 10 ball. Just one rail. But that's, yeah, none of it is easy. It's always a very touchy shot because you want to put the 9 ball very close to the bottom rail, and he underhit it a little bit. But it's still,
Yeah, that's
Still a good shot.
the Black Peter situation.
yeah, yet again. Now, how do you like playing the same shot, vice versa? Now we're just putting the 9 ball to the short rail again, and maybe even getting lucky with the cue ball and the 10 ball. If you hit it very full, the 10 ball might travel 2 rails right in front of the cue ball.
And it's all about speed and
Yeah. Oh, wow.
well, surprised us. Let's
Yeah,
watch the
that's-
replay. He did hit it with the right speed, but
Wow.
just thought, okay, I have enough. I'm done with this. I want to win this rack.
Yeah, and now the score is 4-2.
Yeah. So big yes from Joshua. He knows it's a big rack.
Yeah.
It's the second rack he was given.
Yeah, it's the small little mistakes that Chang keeps on making.
Yeah, it looks like he's in cruise control. Comes with all the important shots and then makes an unforced error.
Yeah, it's like all those inaccuracies. He's not accurate enough right now. First he scratches on the 9 ball, now he gets in a small position area on the 8 ball where he's very limited and needs some fortune, needs some luck to get a position on the 9 ball, and then yeah, Joshua just comes up with those really good offensive shots, and then he starts losing the rack he shouldn't. Now let's see the break. Doesn't make a ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not happy. So he took a little bit more effort on this one because he scratched on the side on the last one. But most of the balls traveled across the sideline. Nothing went down. So we have quite a lot of interaction every single rack. It's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah. And yet again, the 3 ball is kind of in a weird place. 10 ball blocking the way to the pocket.
And we're playing WPA rules, meaning you cannot win the game with the combination on the 10. You must make the 10 last. So if he selects to play the 3-10 combination, the 10 gets spotted again and he will continue shooting the 3.
Yep. I think he's pretty good on the 2 ball. Make it, stun the cue ball to the long rail, and then you could be pretty much straight in on the combination.
Yeah, he wants to get close to that combination and ideally almost straight in.
Yeah.
That's as good as he can hope for.
Now, even though the 10 ball is so close to the pocket and the combination looks quite simple, those combinations are always missable.
Yeah, but it's just off the rail, so he can.
Yeah, he has a lot of room
he
for.
can hit the rail first, or he can hit the ball first.
Yeah. In this case, he has a big window of
But
getting a 3 ball.
But still very touchy. You can't really let your stroke out. Kind of have to. It's very soft. And you see the 10 gets respotted. Oh, he completely missed it. Yeah, hit the wrong side of the ball.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say, because the distance between the 3 and the 10 was still quite far. So that way, there's always room for error.
Well, can he kick it and stick the cue ball behind the 8?
Yeah, I think. He's probably running it into the 10.
Good shot.
Oh.
Oh no, he left it.
Hit it a little too full. Not quite thin enough. But didn't leave a straightforward shot.
But look at the 8 and the 10. So we'll have.
Yeah, we have another tactical rack probably regarding the 8 ball.
So if you like a fast game with lots of break and runs, you might be a bit disappointed. But if you want to see the communication back and forth between the players, I think you're having a treat here.
Yeah, I think this match really represents the qualities of pool. We had everything so far. We had very good shots. We had very easy mistakes. We had a lot of safety duels. We
Bit
had
of drama here and there.
Yeah, and now we have some mental game involved too, because Chang made 2 errors he's not supposed to make. And now, yeah, there's a lot going on.
Well, it's a huge wreck because Joshua getting a 3-game lead or Chang Lin
Oh, now he
coming
clustered
back.
up the 4-ball. It's getting more and more interesting with every single rack, every single shot, I mean.
So the question is, can he make the 3 and then possibly play a safety with the 4, or is he going to play a safety right away?
Yeah, I think he will try to make the 3.
Then break up the 4-6 cluster and get the cue ball behind the 8-10. Nope, play safety right away.
Okay, that's good. Now with this shot, it's very important to make sure he can't see the 3-ball at all. Because on the right side, as we can see, there's the 4-ball, the 6-ball, the 5-ball, the 9-ball. Oh no, it's a 7, excuse me. And there's 3 to 4 balls. The 3-ball could stay in behind and bring the cue ball pretty much back where it is now.
Just want to take this opportunity and talk a bit about my experience here, because I came to the Maldives 4.5 years ago when there were only 4 tables, and I saw a lot of passionate players, and I had the honor to witness when the sports minister, Mr. Ahmed Malouf, signed the papers to agree to the expansion of the club. And now we have this beautiful facility, and as I was told, is going to expand even further. The vice president of the association told me that they have about 2,000 members here in Male. That's like incredible in my opinion.
I totally agree. We had the conversation earlier. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and then we were talking about just the amount of members in different countries, and then he asked me you asked me what my assumption is, what I think, how many players are playing here, and I said maybe 200, and it being 2,000 is just incredible. Incredible.
It reminded me of a club in Germany. When I came here 4.5 years ago, 4 tables, and but they're also so well connected, and they have the support of the government. In this tournament, if you look at the prize money, that can compete with any tournament that we play on the world stage, and their plans are to just make it bigger and better. They're very open-minded to get criticism and suggestions. They want to create a world-class tournament for all the players and for the fans. Just the level of production. They've never done this before, but if you can see what we see, all the people behind the scenes working on this, on the stream.
Yeah, especially regarding the venue now. I don't quite know how the place looked 4.5 years ago with only the 4 tables, but I've seen a video just a couple hours ago, and it looked like the place here the walls were white, all the tables are white, and I'm not quite sure if they really painted all the walls, but now everything is looking beautifully in blue, everything themed up.
Wow, beautiful shot here.
Wow, yeah. Everything is looking super nice, super clean, and they put a lot of effort again into this tournament, and that just shows how much they appreciate the game of pool, how much they really want to do for pool and for their community. That's just beautiful to see.
Watch this replay. This is a heck of a shot here. Couldn't have hit to even see it like that, and executed to perfection.
Yeah, I think he has pretty much only one choice, and that's going long rail between the 10-8 and 9. Try to hit it thinly. Or maybe he has the two rails, long rail, short rail, avoiding the 5 and the 7 and then, yeah, making contact, but that's tough.
The only good news is, even if he doesn't hit the 3, there's still the big 8 and 9, 8 and 10
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do.
Joshua needs to solve at one point.
Yeah. And now we saw Joshua making mistakes that, yeah, we didn't expect in the beginning. And now he's playing superb. There's no other way to put it. He's playing amazing. The safety just now and the jump before. Yeah, he's getting into gear. And the amount of time at the table that I mentioned earlier, there was probably 75 to 25 in Chang's favor. I think now it's 75-25 in Joshua's favor.
Oh, so from our perspective, it looked like the combination was dead, but apparently it wasn't. Joshua rushed to break those up. And another safety will follow.
Now that's an interesting shot. If he manages to keep the cue ball, yeah, exactly, behind the 8 and 10, he's in good shape.
I mean, when was the last time you've seen such a tactical match?
Probably at some matchroom event because of the different break rule. But this tactical, probably a long time ago.
The semifinals will be tonight at 8 p.m. local time, so at least whoever comes out ahead of this match gets a little bit of rest. It's gonna take a lot of energy.
Yeah, just as a little input, the game between Koping-Chung and Viktor Zielinski might end soon. The score is 7-2 in Koping-Chung's favor. And now he's shooting a 7 ball. Looking to close out the set. Oh, look at this shot.
Nice kick here by
Wow.
Chang Ling.
Now seeing the pace of this match, it's good that the next match starts at 8 o'clock tonight.
Imagine we would have played with the shot clock. I think it would have changed the whole dynamics of the match. So it's very interesting to see.
Yeah. Especially in those extremely tactical matches. Koping-Chung 1.
Joshua really taking his time. He knows this is important rack. The obvious choice from here looks like the jump, but doesn't have a full ball to jump into, the cue ball. One thing he doesn't want to do is miss the 4 and break up the 8-10 combination.
Yeah, that's the
That
exact
cluster.
reason. I think that's why he's going for this long. Wow.
Ooh. So much drama. Ball in hand for Chang Lin.
Even though it was a great hit, I didn't even see the 3-rail kick. But smart decision, very smart decision to go for the 3-rail kick in this situation. Avoiding to break up the 8 and 10. Avoiding to bring any balls in the direction of the 8 and 10.
He does have the 7 close to the center of the table, so he has many choices getting down to that 8.
Yeah. Now would you try to play the 7 in the side where the cue ball is now, or basically in the opposite side? So basically putting the cue ball.
But it's easier to get the angle that you want if you just roll the 6 in and stay on the high side where it is now with the right angle.
Mhm.
But if you could get on the other side with the right angle,
I
it
think it's
might be
easier.
easier to break them up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I guess now it's the decision. Yeah, will be done after the position on the 6 ball. If he, yeah. So see, now he doesn't have enough angle to go to the opposite side again. So yeah, he will have to stay on the side where the 6 is now. There's no choice really.
I just feel like if you can play the 7 and hit the short rail first before bumping the 8-10, and almost any way you hit it, you will have a shot. Where if you go in directly, things can happen.
I agree. I agree. But you see, the gap between 8 and 9 to hit the short rail first is very small.
Yep.
It's very slim. Then you have to have the perfect angle.
Once the right angle, once the cue ball away from the rail, and now it all depends.
How do you like going long rail, short rail, and then hitting the 10 and 8?
Angle to hit the long rail.
Probably, yeah. The overhead perspective always seems a little, it always looks a little different than what it actually looks like from the table view. But hitting the 8 or 10 directly without any rail contact is very speed sensitive. The speed has to be very good in order to have a shot on the 8.
Let's see what he comes up with.
Wow, good shot. But
Yeah, but just as predicted, running into the 8 directly,
yeah,
you're
there's
not
no
guaranteed to get
Yeah.
a shot, but at least he's in control.
Yeah, I think he will most likely just go for the safety now. Put the cue ball in behind the 10. And maybe putting the 8 towards the 9, making it more difficult to hit it. Yeah, good speed.
Well, at least Joshua gets another look at the table.
With the safety shot that Chang played, it's important to get the cue ball as close to the 10 as possible, because you want to
Take all the rails away that are close to the cue ball.
Yeah, especially the short rail, because that's the easiest hit.
I think if he would use the other short rail,
I'm not quite sure if he has it.
yeah,
I think he played it pretty well. He could go 2 rails, long rail, short rail, and then avoiding the 9 and hitting the 8 ball. But that's pretty tough. And he must feel like he can get a guaranteed hit almost with this rail. Yeah, good speed.
yeah, I think
Yeah, very good speed.
he's happy with that outcome. Leaves a
He can be.
combination, leaves a cross bang into the corner.
Yeah. Would you go for the combination in this case?
I hate combinations.
Okay.
So I'm not.
No, I
I'm the
think
worst player to face this. You need
I-
a one-pocket player to execute this.
yeah. How do you like the playing the cue ball in behind the 10 and yeah, the 8 ball, 2 rails, long rail, short rail, and then on the long rail right next to the side.
That's a good
maybe.
shot. Going for the save, just rolling the cue ball
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. I think
If you
that's-
don't get the hook, then the 8 ball will be on the long rail.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
maybe
kinda like the
maybe he
shot.
thinks if he cross banks this and hits it
Yeah,
too
as we've
thin,
seen-
then the 8 will end up on the short rail.
as we've seen earlier in the match, Chang is kind of going really offensive right now. So
Doesn't want the double kiss.
wow. Ooh. Good shot.
Great shot. That keeps the match interesting.
But again, I didn't like the way he played it. He didn't hit it hard enough, in my opinion. If he didn't make it, the 8 ball wouldn't really travel much further. So,
I misjudged the speed, but
yeah, but made the ball. So whoever runs out is right.
3 to 4. We have one more rack before it goes into a automatic timeout. I think both players kind of deserve a little break.
Yeah, I agree. That match is.
It's been an hour and 30 minutes, 4 to 3. I don't think we've ever seen a match. Joshua has been in that 7 racks in an hour and a half.
No.
Usually finishes 2 matches in that time.
Yeah. Just a note on the side, there's almost no seats left here in the arena. Maybe I can see 3 or 4 seats left, but everything else is pretty packed.
Our VIP section is also
Yeah, pretty crowded.
quite occupied. You have Pia sweating Joshua's match in the corner.
Chang to break now. Wow, very
Absolutely.
good break.
Perfectly timed break. I think overall he's been hitting them much nicer than Joshua's.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Very
He's-
good timing, good power.
Yeah, he's one of the few players that make balls on the TV table on the break.
Something that can be quite frustrating if you know, you hit the balls and you just can't get that second ball to travel towards the side pocket no matter what you do. You feel like you know you wanna run out racks, and it starts with getting balls in. And it's just tough, you know, seeing your opponent the high success rate making that second ball.
Yeah, especially after a few breaks and you try to just be like a little copycat and try to copy what your opponent does, and it doesn't work either. And then, yeah,
This could be the very first break and run out here of the entire match. Fastest rack
yeah,
of the game.
especially now because there are no obstacles.
But I wouldn't be surprised if something funky happens.
Yeah, I think this is the key shot of the
Yep.
rack.
It's to come in between the 4 and the 8.
Or maybe he will,
Swing around.
no, just kind of not really slow roll it, but kind of slow roll it, and try to stay on the side where the 2 ball is now with lots of right English, and then having two pockets, having the corner pocket and the side. But it looks like he's going
He's drawing the cue. Oh, it's the 4 next. Okay,
Yeah.
he's going to draw the cue ball out.
Yeah, we'll just run it with outside. Yeah, tries to avoid the 7. Oh, and lands short. Something
Of
funky
course.
happened. Yeah, that's very interesting again.
Yeah, if he cuts the 4 on the side, the cue ball will be a bit awkward. Traveling towards that first diamond on the long, and then towards the 10 or the 9 is blocking one of the natural angles.
And it's not easy to make. There's still room for error.
I think he's going to put inside to shorten the cue ball on the short rail. No, he's coming around.
Very good shot.
That's well done. That should be it. And would be surprised if both players agree to just continue playing. I think
Yeah.
they want to break. So after this rack, we'll have a, let's say, 5 to 7 minute break.
Yeah, I think the players get a 9-minute break.
9 minutes?
9-minute break, as far as I know. Maybe they changed something. But due to the fact that the next match is around 8, they don't have any time pressure. So yeah, they don't have to shorten any breaks or skip the break completely. There's no need to.
So Moritz and I will also take a quick break after this rack, get some refreshments.
The match between Carlo Biado and Lung Tian is fought very hard as well. The score is 6-6 right now.
And there we have it, 4-4.
Let's see if they agree to take a break.
Yep, we'll be back in
A couple
about 10
minutes.
minutes. And we are back. Score is 4-4. It has been an action-filled quarterfinal match.
To be honest, it's probably one of the most interesting games I've seen the last couple of years.
Period. Finally, excellent break by Joshua.
Yeah.
Should clear this in no time.
Yeah. Now let's see if he gets good on the two. I see no reason why he shouldn't run the entire rack.
First position is it's going to set him up.
Oh, I think that's a little short, isn't it? Oh, that's close.
Yeah, he just glanced over to Pia like,
But I think he can make it.
can he play? Yeah.
No, that's the biggest shot of the rack, I guess. Because now he's quite close to the rail. He will have to go 3 rails out.
But you can see the impact on the pace of this match it has on Joshua. Right from the beginning, Chang Ling slowed down the game, taking his time, and even this one he hit way too full.
Yeah, it's
Should give us a hint of how we should approach the match with Joshua next time.
yeah, that's the way to maybe be victorious. And I guess that's a recipe against all the very fast players. Even though I think he got a little jelly roll there.
Yeah, he completely misjudged the cue ball here. But the 5 saved him. But again, it's really supposed to be a run out.
Yeah.
Hasn't found his rhythm yet at all.
That's a classic example of the small mistakes accumulating. So he got the first position a little wrong on the 2 ball, then he gets another position a little wrong on the 3 ball. And then he gets a position on the 4 ball completely wrong. So that's the way it goes in pool sometimes. It's just the little mistakes and the little inaccuracies sometimes that will cost you the match. It's not always the ball you miss that's the mistake. It's sometimes just the position or the position before the position. So that's always something to look into.
Yeah, I think Chang knows it. That's why he's not rushing to anything, just taking his time.
Let's see what he's doing here. That's no easy hit. It's very pace sensitive. Oh, wow. Wow.
Couldn't have hit it any better.
And it's nice to see the dynamics of the match. In the beginning, there was some interesting scenes happening, and then something changed, and now it's changed again, I feel like, because the match is taking so long, and it's maybe more exhausting for Joshua than the matches usually are.
Yep.
And then you see Chang in his, I don't want to say in his home game, but to some extent it is. The slow matches, that's what he's used to.
I don't want to make any predictions here. What was supposed to be an obvious break and run for Joshua now turned into a huge opportunity.
Yeah, it's going back and
For
forth
Chang.
all the time. But we can't forget about the mistakes that Chang made, so I think it's equalizing somehow now. It's a long shot on the 5 now. And that's a key shot. I feel like the 6 ball is laying somewhat uncomfortable.
Awkward.
Yeah, awkward. Because it's kind of thin. It's a thin cut. You don't want to land too straight. You don't want to land too thin with too much angle. So that's like not the easiest shot now.
Yeah, I think he's on purposely like slowing down, which, you know, rightfully so. He's
Yeah.
he sees it, you know, how it affects Joshua, how he can develop his game.
And you know what might play into the strategy? Why he might actually take more time than usual? Because as we can see here in the booth, they have air conditions right above the table, right around all the venue. And yeah, sometimes you get cold faster because the air conditioner is so close.
Perfect angle here.
Yeah,
you
good
wanna
shot.
land two straight on the 9, so you will end up with the cue ball on the rail. He has a perfect angle to just get the cue ball away from the rail.
Yeah. Made it.
5-4, don't touch anything.
Not again. Really interesting match.
I'm very excited for tomorrow because it doesn't happen very often where we have a final match being played and the president of the whole country is going to come visit.
Yeah, that just shows how big of an impact this tournament might have on the pool community here in Maldives.
Yeah, and we had really a sensational event happening a couple of days ago when one of the local players qualified into the last 32. Was like it was celebrated like a tournament win, and rightfully so. It's just motivate everybody, you know, that it's possible. You know, locals can compete on an international level. It should inspire everybody to come here and train. And I've talked to the organizers, given examples. For example, Poland started their program 30 years ago. Just really devoted, developing many players out of their youth. And then it took like 25 years later, now they are one of the big powerhouses in Europe. So it will take time to develop a sport in a country. It might take generations to get to the top.
But it definitely looks like the Maldives are ready to do so.
Yeah, it's really Male where everything happens. I know they've been talking about creating more centers on various islands connected to the association here to scout for talents and develop them. And they really are on the right track. I remember a couple of years ago they had Ralph Eckert come here and train with the national team, gave him a good idea of what the training should look like, how to create structure. And I wonder, when the president comes and we had the Minister of Defense here for the opening ceremony, and of course our sport minister.
Oh wow, let's appreciate that shot for a second. Wow.
How motivated they are to invest into this, and it's a good opportunity to develop some champions over the next 20 years. Just need more exposure, and that was one of the reasons we brought this tournament here. You can only bring in one player to train with the national team, but to have a tournament, everybody gets a chance to compete on the highest level.
And every country started at some point. So yeah, hopefully we'll see many good players coming from this country in the future.
I mean, that's the beauty of our game, I think. You look at other sports, you have countries that are just completely dominating. And in pool, in Europe alone, you have champions from all over. Years ago, it was the US dominating. You had some players from maybe Sweden, Germany, and nowadays, in Europe alone, you've got Spain, Bosnia Herzegovina, Greece, Albania, produce so many champions. So it should be very inspiring for countries like the Maldives.
Yeah, you might have heard the applause a couple seconds ago. That was because Lung Doc Thien from Vietnam won against Carlo Biado, 8-7. Yeah, and coming back, the sport pool is amazing. Yeah, regarding that, every country, there's a big variety of countries that are good, that have good players. And that just shows that there's nothing to it. No matter where you're from, you can play pool and it connects the whole world. And that's just beautiful to see.
Match stays interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we will go all the way to the end. Not the best contact.
Let's see what the 6 does. Oh, gets
for Joshua, but he did get the 6 ball in.
Now this is no easy shot again, as we've seen many times before in this match. After the break, there's somehow always difficulties in the racks.
Yeah, I didn't want that one ball to drop. But a very obvious choice on the safety here, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Now again, now you want to freeze the cue ball behind the balls. Object ball first, but the cue ball is very important because as soon as the cue ball is touching a long rail, you always have that gap between the long rail and the 8 ball. And then the safety isn't nearly as good as putting really safe.
So would you try and jump and carom the 10 into the corner, jump for the bank, or jump into safety?
I'd probably try to jump safety. I mean, you can call the 10, but I think I would rather just try to position a 2 ball on the short rail and yeah, hoping for the best, or maybe playing 4 rails behind the 8 and 9, the 2 ball. And just in case you make the 10, you have the option to play in case something good happens. What's left on the table, a good shot on the 2. But now let's see what he does. Yeah, exactly like that. Just hit it a little soft somehow, but wow. What a match.
See, he got the save.
Every single rack, it's somehow the same. They have a safety duel, safety battle. And it never ends. It's quite funny to see, or interesting to see. I don't know if it's funny, but it's interesting. Over the past couple of years, I would say maybe even over the past 1 or 2 decades, how the game changed. Back, let's say 20 years ago or 10 years ago, before jump cues were really a thing, that safety would have been really good. But nowadays, you have to really freeze the cue ball and marry the cue ball to all
It's
the
coming
balls.
from you. You've only been around for what, 5 years?
Yeah, but still, the game changed so much. That safety could have been really good, or would have been really good years ago, and now it was a safety, yeah, but you can't expect the guys to foul anymore because of the jump sticks. So that's, yeah, interesting to see. Now the qualities shift. If you play against a guy that has good jumping abilities, then you have to play the safeties a lot better and a lot more precise. You wouldn't consider jumping here?
It's a very long jump. He did make a very good contact, and I think he's
that's
Joshua very
incredible.
pleased with the outcome. So far we have a very nice collection of players in the semifinal. No, it could have been 3 Taiwanese. We actually have who won, Joan Chua, Filipino,
We have Lung Dok Tien from Vietnam.
and Ko Ping Chung
Yeah,
from
from
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Will the one European remain?
Yeah, we as Europeans, we were definitely just a few in comparison to the Asians. Now, what's the plan here? Going 2 rails with the 2 ball and trying to freeze the cue ball to the 8 or 9? Yeah, apparently so. Wow, great speed. And now again, I think he's checking the distance between the 8 and the cue ball in order, yeah, maybe to jump. And that's exactly what I mentioned earlier. Those good safeties aren't,
Good enough anymore?
yeah, at least not to expect a foul.
Can he finally left the shot, I think. Does he have a full pocket?
But I think you can still be kind of pleased with the outcome. That's no easy. And the combination isn't easy as well, so that rack isn't in the books yet.
both feel like a combination is a better choice.
But that one is kind of off angle somehow. I don't feel like he can really make the 10 and get position. I don't know. To me, it looks kind of weird. It's awkward. Don't you think so? I think. Let's see what he decides.
So how's the match going so far, Moritz?
It's, as I mentioned earlier, it's one of the most interesting matches I've seen in a long time. It's going back and forth every single rack. They're having safety battles. Every single rack. I think I might be mistaken, but there was no run out yet. Was there? Not sure. And this rack alone, they had probably 3 innings each, just containing safety. So, yeah, it's really interesting. Great shot again.
So I think all the other matches have completed. So we are just only waiting for this 10th match.
Yeah, and I agree with Moritz. This might have been, or this might be the best match of the tournament so far. As a player, you want it to be an obvious win, with many breaking runs. But I think as a spectator, unless you have any emotional ties to the player, I think it's very interesting to see, the drama unfold. Just the momentum swinging back and forth, the players coming with amazing shots just to miss something obvious, obvious runouts.
And also it's good for all the local players and all the local viewers because for most of them they are seeing this kind of tense match for the very first time.
Do you have any junior players at the moment that are
Right
playing?
now, 2 months back, we just started our youth development program. So it's just really, really young. But hopefully, with all of your guidance, hopefully we'll be able to move forward. As suggested by you previously, we made a decision to bring Ralph. And I think it was one of the best decisions we made so far as a coach. He's one of the best.
Yeah, well, we kind of stole him from you because he's our coach. You had your chance. Yeah, still has a little bit of work to get to swing around for the 9. So I assume later at 8 o'clock we'll have one semi-final being played on the TV table and one match outside.
That's correct. But the 2 tables also will be live on YouTube. And also the TV table will be live on Facebook.
And are you going to create some additional seating for tomorrow, or the layout going to stay the same?
Tomorrow it's going to be a surprise for all. So let's see how it goes.
A surprise. I don't know if we like surprises.
Yeah. And also tomorrow for the closing ceremony and to see the match, the president of the Maldives will come. So
Yeah,
it's
very
going to be
exciting. Has he ever watched any pool match?
Previously for the for our national tournament closing ceremony, President visited. So it will be the second time, but this is the first international tournament for us. So it's going to be special. And also on the stage, you can see our sports commissioner is also here to see the match. Commissioner of Sports. So as a professional player, I'm just being an amateur, just running the show in here. Just want to ask you, what will be the players' feeling inside going on during these kind of tough matches?
Well, we have two very seasoned champions, right? Both of them have won numerous tournaments, have been in this situation many, many times. But I don't want to make any predictions here anymore because I've been proven wrong almost every single rec. Every time you think a player has a clear run out, something happened. This is the first time Chang Lin did make a ball in the break, I think, in a while. The one before.
Yeah, one before also, yeah.
Okay, looks like he's warming up. Did you turn on the heaters or?
No, because there's a shot he has to make. So for safety purpose, I believe so.
Is he gonna put the jacket back on or? Yeah, you can clearly see how the whole pace of the match affects his play. So many unforced errors I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, I totally agree. But that's what happens. The match took, what, 2 hours now?
Yeah,
So,
also almost 2 hours. 2 hours,
yeah,
15
so
minutes.
That's exhausting, especially playing at this pace. Every single rack is a tough fight. And then, yeah, you kind of get cold, your muscles get cold again, and then it's,
So how was your performance throughout the tournament, Maurice?
I think there's a lot of space for improvement. Definitely my last match was bad. Made at least 3 mistakes, 3 unforced errors. But it's okay.
But I saw that you started really good at your last match. Really strong.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah,
sometimes it's just a tiny mistake and then a big mistake follows. And I think a smaller mistake made me do a bigger mistake because I ran out of position twice, and then it's tough to get back, or you have a tough shot to make, or and then you miss, and then. But it's okay as long as there's still space for improvement, and you know what to improve. Then it's all right. It just takes time, or.
So
Yeah.
I heard you guys went for diving, right, today? How was the experience?
So it was my intro dive, my first
Yeah,
diving
really?
experience. Yeah.
How was it?
It was very nice. It was a lot of fun, I have to say.
A feeling which you cannot explain, right?
Yeah, it's weird to breathe underwater. So
It's just come on, we're in the Maldives and we're here to play pool and we want to get some local experiences. Whether you guys are taking us to a nice coffee shop on the beach or just walking around the streets.
How was the experience visiting a local house and tasting the local foods?
I've eaten with my hands before in Bangladesh, so it wasn't too strange for me. I mean, that was a feast. I know it was the last night of Ramadan for you, and well, if you eat like that every night, then I don't know what the fasting is good for, because you'll make it up with the quality and the quantity of food. It was, I mean, no, it's really an honor the way you treat us. Really getting the opportunity to submerge ourselves into the local experience. Most tournaments we go to, certain countries, we're at the airport, we check into the hotel, we play at the venue, and then we leave.
Mm-hmm.
But you make us all feel like we're a part of your community, and it's just very special.
Yeah, yeah. It's I would say it's within our Maldivian culture to treat everyone like special. So whoever comes to the country, we make them special.
I hope one day we can return the favor, and then I can cook some schnitzel for you and some bratwurst and sauerkraut.
What are those?
Uh huh.
Yeah, I can only agree to Thorsten. The way every single one of you treated us, it's not that it's just one person, it's just the whole community. Whoever I talk to, they always say, whenever I need something, I can just hit him up and ask him. And that's just, yeah, very nice to see. And in comparison to Europe, it's way different. Everybody here, yeah, just wants to help really, and it enjoys helping somehow. And
In
they,
pool.
yeah. All the people I met so far, and they, yeah, just really appreciate us being here, and that's something that's way different to any other place that I've been so far. So yeah, thank you guys.
It's our pleasure.
Well, we're at a very critical moment of this game. It's still a race to 8, and Chang Ling has a chance to climb the hill first. But like before, anything anything can happen here. Should be a simple drawback. 9 is close to the pocket.
Yeah, very nice execution. Wow, good shot.
As fellow Germans, of course, we want Joshua
Mm-hmm.
to win this game. Sorry, but it will also be a nice balance, among the the 4 finalists.
Mm-hmm.
To
Yeah.
have one European make it.
Mm-hmm. True. Now already one from Taiwan, right? Well, from Kopinchong, and then Filipino, Joshua, and then the Vietnam guy, right?
It's nice to see so many Vietnam players coming up now.
Yeah.
I think a couple years ago I knew no one, basically, and now there's at least 2 or 3 of them that played really well here. At least that's the matches I saw. I mean, I don't really know. I assume that all of them are pretty solid. But it's nice to see that the pool world grows and more players get the chance to play at a big stage and show their potential and show their skills.
So if you look at Joshua's break here, really hit him solid. Good timing on the cue ball. I mean, he couldn't have hit it any better, actually. So if Chang can see the 1 in between the 3 and 9, there's a potential bank with the 10 hanging in front of the pocket, which you can use kind of to funnel the 1 in, makes the pocket bigger. And he doesn't have to do much with the cue ball because the 2 ball sits right there. But I don't know if he can squeeze that cue ball between the 3 and the 9 into the 1. But he's definitely happy to have the option to play a push.
Yeah, I think the gap isn't big enough, but yeah, I assume he's just gonna slow roll the cue ball on the 5 ball, and then yeah, risking a jump. As offensive as he's played the whole set, I'm yeah, not surprised. Or I wouldn't be surprised if he really shoots that ball. Okay, he played a stop shot instead of the slow roll, but same thing with the cue ball basically. And now it's a smart shot because I feel like Chang probably feels comfortable with shooting the shot. And Josh was left-handed, so he can't properly reach the cue ball. He can't really reach the jump, so he kind of is forced to give it back.
Could also kick at the 1 and call it off the 10.
Let's see what he does.
Yeah,
Right, he could actually. Yeah, that's a good idea. He could kick via the short rail, and as you said, the tempo makes the pocket size way bigger. So
I have a feeling he's going to come really close.
if he doesn't make it,
Still has a cover
yeah,
with the 9, 8, and the 3. I feel if you hit this with pace, it's easier to judge how the cue ball comes off that short rail. But then you set everything in motion and anything can happen. He elected to play a little softer, and I think he just completely mishit it.
and again, that's yeah, a little awkward again. I don't know. I feel like this shot is not too easy because he has to go through the gap between the 6 and the 7. I think it is. And then the cue ball is quite close to the rail, so yeah. It's not a
Well, it's not over till it's over. Just overall, it looks like the whole pace of the game has
adapted to Chang.
is just taken away from Joshua's abilities. Really slowed him down. He couldn't play his regular fast pace, run everything out game.
But a very good shot here. Now this one's interesting again. Nice. This one's crucial.
Wants to get close to the 4 and ideally with less angle.
Oh, but this one's now it's challenging.
Yeah, is he going to draw the cue ball back long rail, or is he going to bump the 5?
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll see.
Meanwhile, just plays a trick shot.
Makes both. That's a good outcome, I would say. Joshua starts to play faster again.
Again, I think we're going to see a hill here. Has to be. The way the whole match was going. That's what we all deserve, I think.
Yeah, that's what the players deserve.
I know among the players and fans from the Maldives,
Good run
Joshua
out.
is one of the favorites here. And 2.5 hours into the match, we're at 6-7 with a big opportunity for Chang Ling now.
Definitely Chang's last break. he definitely broke the balls more successful so far. Maybe he's thinking about the spot where to put the cue ball now, because he broke dry a couple of times. That outcome suits the match.
That's when you go as a player. Yeah, right. Of course. Is he trying to draw the cue ball into the behind the 6? Delicate
Looks
little
like
hit.
He already took off his extension.
I mean, what are his choices? He could bump the 2 into the long rail near the side pocket and float the cue ball over behind the 7 and 8. Or the fuller hit with the cue ball behind the 6.
Yeah, I probably like jacking up. Maybe, yeah, trying to draw the cue ball behind the 6.
He
But
knows
mainly trying to put the cue ball, the 2 ball, in between the 9 and the 3 on the short rail, and just creating distance.
he knows if he can produce a good outcome here, that could be his match. If he gets that cue ball behind the 6, that could be the match winner.
Yeah, that's a match-winning shot.
Oh no, plays it a bit more conservatively.
But a good shot. Good idea. Because there's basically a wall of balls that the 8 and 7, 5 resemble.
Joshua's checking if he can hit that short rail.
Shaking his head, so must be very close.
At this point, I would say the odds are in Chang's favor.
But there's a lot that might happen, that could happen. And that might be a match-winning shot too, because he has the following break, so whatever he does, and let's say he makes the ball and runs out, he's the one to break, so that's always an advantage. We can see his wife in the background, sweating the match.
He wants to hit it pretty full.
Ooh. You think 2 ball passes the 3?
I don't think so. I think the drama continues.
He wasn't too off. It was pretty close. If the 2 ball touches the 10, he might actually make it.
I'm not sure if he wanted to hit that fuller into the face or really cut it that much as he did.
But what do you do on this shot now?
What? You look at thinning the ball, but then the 9 sits right there.
Maybe slow rolling, trying to hit the 2 ball on the right side and putting the cue ball right on the short rail and hoping for the 3 to get in between.
Yeah, you don't want to get a double kiss.
I think he's looking at the thin cut and then
Carrying the 2 off
Carrying,
the
yeah.
3.
that's what I thought. If they are touching or close to touching, that's
You could even kick at it and
Yeah.
might make the 2 off
yeah,
the 3.
yeah. But that's he definitely will not be able to go for it with a thin cut because then the cue ball will scratch.
And I think it might produce a double hit.
Very interesting to see now. He's looking to cut it thinly.
Well, he's in no rush, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's taking his time and really considering all options.
So now I'm curious, is he going to kick at it or is he going to thin it?
Oh wow, it's getting very close.
Whoa.
Let's see what happened to the 6 and 7.
He's smiling. He's like, oh,
Good effort.
you know, damn, it was on. I just should have hit it a little harder. Almost scratched on the side. Put the 7 to the 6 there. But I think that was to be expected.
Oh, I'm not sure if I like the position here. Very interesting again.
The 5 goes, but the 6, 7 are a tricky spot. Really wants to somehow get an angle to break those up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he
Can even make the 3.
he can make the 3, but there's no way of running into the 6, 7, is there? I think that's what he was looking at, but or maybe he was looking at the gap right there.
That was a good shot.
Wow,
So
I think that's
now,
perfect.
what is he gonna do?
With the 8, that's not comfortable.
Can he just bump the 7 out of the way? Go forward and just very gently.
Yeah, gently.
touch
yeah.
the 7?
He has to be gentle. Don't hit it too thin. Yeah. Good shot.
I think he
No, that's good. That's good. That's good for sure.
gotten there, but then the cue ball is.
Oh, the 9.
Just
the
go
9
one
is in the
rail?
way. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good shot.
Oh, he's home. Ha! Knew it. Hill.
Not yet. We've seen the match so
No,
far.
no. I believe in him.
Yeah, I believe in him too.
He's a lefty. He doesn't want to get the cue ball onto the close to the long rail.
Oh, watch the cue ball.
confident stroke here.
Good.
And there we go.
Yeah, you called it.
Couldn't have a better ending, huh? Hill. What a match. Joshua got nervous because he was getting the balls out of the pocket. Oh, he can go and use the bathroom. So we have a quick toilet break by Joshua, and then we'll be right back. So Joshua's coming back. Looking behind me, I see there's not a single seat available. All the spectators are here to witness the end. It's definitely the match of the tournament
For
so
sure.
far, and there should be a big relief. Whoever ends up on top here has to come back at 8 o'clock tonight. So let's see what Joshua does.
Looks like it's pretty dry again.
Ah,
Wow. The break has been the biggest issue for both of them.
he didn't really hit them square, and sometimes those breaks get the best results, but not this time. He lost the cue ball slightly to the left, and there was nothing even remotely close getting into the side pocket.
No. But yeah.
Has
not
too much
over yet.
angle to hold the cue ball near the short rail, so he has to come
He will probably
to the
try
other side.
Yeah, I guess he will try to go center table, almost. And then, yeah. I think the position from 2 to 3.
3 to the 4 is the winner here,
Yeah.
because you have the
2 to
6
the 3
and
and
the
to
8.
3 to the 4.
The 6 and the 8 are on the way.
But if you get good on the 3, I think the position is quite doable.
But he can't just stun it over across. He has to come. We draw it back. So there's a bit of work to do here.
Yeah, I agree. But one big step is getting good on the 3 first. And making the 1, first of all. It's no easy peasy shot. Oh, and that's a bit short, isn't it?
You think? I think he has enough angle to stun the cue ball.
Yeah, but now that he has to
Avoid the 7.
and grab over the 6, there's still something that could go wrong. It's not the ideal position again.
Yeah, but he has a lot of space for the cue, and wants to stun the ball
Yeah,
anyway.
I think he should. I think he should be good. I think he's
He's looking to play the cue ball to the short side,
interesting approach.
and then even with where the balls are positioned, he doesn't want to end up straight on the four either. So
Yeah,
he
it's no
knows it.
easy rack.
He knows it. He has work to do. So is he drawing the cue ball, or is he stunning it? Drawing it to the short side, or stunning it to where he's standing now?
We'll see. Uh-oh.
He stunned it. The 6 comes into play.
Uh-oh.
I think he just
See, that's
did he
what-
hook himself, or did he get
Yeah,
on
I
him?
think so. That's definitely hooked. That's why I said that grabbing over the 6 made it a little more complicated. I think he just hit it with a little more backspin than he wanted, because he had to elevate. Or is he hooked?
I think so. That's one of the shots we saw in one of the first racks where they played 3 rail first.
Yeah. Do you think he will do anything fancy, or just make it and
Well,
hope
if
for
he
the
can
best?
get deep enough, he could hit the rail first and just try and stop the cue ball where his hand is and send a 3 down table, or the way he's looking, he's really trying to make it
And then just making it.
and just accept a very long cut on the 4. But more drama. Good for him, there's no shot clock.
What a fitting ending. What a good fitting last track to that match.
And no matter what happens, I think we're going to get the crowd going. Whoever wins this, I think we'll see full support here.
And that's the chance Joshua has been waiting for. I feel like this track looks quite straightforward, doesn't it? Even the position on 3 to 4 now is quite
Well, he doesn't want to end up.
quite
I
natural.
think he can draw the cue ball. Long, short.
He wouldn't go long, long?
He doesn't want to get hooked behind the 10.
I think I would rather go for long, long and hit it with enough speed.
I'm not
Do-
sure, because if you go long, long, now you have the 9 and 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can hit that 3 ball thin enough and just change the angle by English. Using English and make the angle widen on the first rail. Looks like he's. Yeah,
Oh, he
good
went
shot.
your way,
Yeah. Oh, but now he might end up straight in.
of course. You see,
That's
he's
a classic
blowing
rail
out
first.
air like. Looks like another rail first here,
Yeah.
but he likes those shots.
Yeah, he's good with them.
Or if he has an angle, he might force it. No, I think he's gonna go rail first here.
He doesn't even need to cheat too much angle.
But he also doesn't want to generate too much spin on the cue ball and get hooked behind the 8.
I think he's considering just drawing the ball. Yeah, that's. Oh, wow. Big pressure shot.
Good news is just has to make the ball. Cuba would naturally come over for the 6 in the corner or the side.
Wow, good shot.
Yep, now he knows it.
Oh, but he has a slight angle. He came quite close to the 6, didn't he?
If he runs this out, we're going to hear a very loud yes.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, and I think that should be it. It's pretty much perfect. It's probably going to go long rail and out.
Well, it was a heck of a match. Obviously, we wanted Joshua to win. And it looks like he's home. So I want to say thank you for watching this game. I think it was the match of the tournament. We still have 2 semifinals tonight at 8 o'clock. So thank you, Moritz.
Yeah, thank you, Thorsten, for having me.
And he did it.
That's conclude the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
We see you again tonight, the semifinal at 8 p.m. Thank you very much. See you again at 8 p.m. Thank you.
Well-deserved winner.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys, support the Maldives. Tell your friends to watch the semifinals later tonight and the finals tomorrow with the president of the country being present. So thanks again. Thanks, Moritz. See you
Thank you,
tonight.
Thorsten.